Hi everyone, Alchemist here. Today I'm going to talk about the 369 numbers. Nikola Tesla, a Serbian-American engineer and physicist, made several breakthroughs in the production, transmission, and application of electric power. He invented the first alternating current AC motor and developed AC generation and transmission technology. He also created the Tesla coil, which is still used in radio technology up to date. Nikola Tesla obtained around 300 patents worldwide for his inventions. He also claimed that he never slept more than 2 hours per day. Tesla's dream was to distribute free electricity to the world. This was a complex concept, but Tesla had the blueprints for this ambitious project. Unfortunately, he didn't get any support from his peers in the scientific community, or even from the investors that pulled back their fundings. Nikola Tesla even proposed in 1896 that contact with alien beings was possible when discussing the potential of using his electric transmission system. He claimed that he has received a repetitive radio signal that could come from the planet Mars. Towards the end of his life, Nikola Tesla wasn't given much acknowledgement from the scientific community. Some even thought that he became delusional because he was talking about aliens and extraterrestrials. In later life, he would spend much of his time feeding pigeons in New York City, claiming that he can mystically communicate with them. Tesla also claimed mysterious things such as, and this is quote unquote, he said the following: "I could hear the ticking of a watch with 3 rooms between me and the timepiece. A fly alighting on a table in the room would cause a dull thud in my ear. A carriage passing at a distance of few miles fairly shook my whole body." He even went on claiming that he had a vision of his alternating current motor in the air before his eyes, and he was certain, before even building it, that it would work. The strange life of Nikola Tesla and his unusual claims led often people to think that he's a hoax or a lunatic fringe. One biography even stated that he was not a man from Earth. It went on saying that a child was born on board of a spaceship and he was brought to Earth from the planet Venus in July 1856. 2 days after his death, the FBI ordered the alien property custodian to seize Tesla's belongings. And guess who seized his belongings? It was John G. Trump, who's the paternal uncle of former US President Donald Trump. He was a professor at MIT and a well-known electrical engineer serving as a technical aide to the National Defense Research Committee. He was called to analyze Tesla's studies, and they were in his custody. A few years later, John Trump was noted for developing rotational radiation therapy. He also developed one of the first million-volt X-ray generators. So, I will let you connect the dots here. There's clearly a lot of mystery surrounding Nikola Tesla. Nevertheless, his obsession with the number 369 was very obvious. For example, he would walk around the block 3 times before entering the building. Or he would choose hotel room numbers divisible by 3. If the hotel room number cannot be divided by 3, he would not pick the room. He would also wash his dishes with 18 napkins. Everything he did, he would try to do it in sets of 3. He even went on saying one of his famous quotes: "If you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe." Now that's very interesting. How can 3 numbers unlock our understanding of the universe? To tackle this properly, I'm going to introduce Vortex mathematics created by a scientist named Marco Rodi. In Vortex math, or the science of torus anatomy, we're going to divide numbers in 2 sets. or two groups. The first group, we have following numbers, which is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. In this group, if we add, multiply any numbers from 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 with each other, we will always get 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, or 8. As you probably may have already noticed, the group number 2 have 3, 6, and 9. And these numbers, these three numbers, you don't see them in group 1, they never appear. No matter how many times you try to add, multiply these numbers, they never equal to 3, 6, or 9. And trust me, I tried this myself so many times. So group number 2 with 3, 6, and 9 has the same pattern as the first group. If you add, multiply any of these numbers with each other, the result will always be equal to, again, 3, 6, or 9. And the numbers from group 1, which are 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, they never show up in this second group. And the scientist Marco Rodin believes that these numbers represent a vector from the third to the fourth dimension, which he calls a flux field. This diagram is the representation of these two groups of numbers. One side is 1, 2, 4. The other side is 8, 7, and 5. This diagram represents how electricity works. It is a stream between two polar sides, like a swinging pendulum, between 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, to the infinity. And if you actually imagine the movement, you can see that is very similar to the symbol of the infinity. However, these two sides are governed by 3 and 6. 3 governs 1, 2, and 4, and 6 governs 8, 7, and 5. And if you look at the pattern closely, you can see that 1 plus 2 equals 3, and 4 plus 8 equals 3 as well, and 7 plus 5 equals 3. So the numbers on this one side, they all equal to 3. Now let's move on to 6, the numbers on the other side of the number 6. If we add 2 plus 4, that's 6. And if we add 8 plus 7, that also equals to 6. And if we add 5 plus 1, that also equals to 6. So that even proves that these numbers, these two sides, are governed by number 3 and number 6. But something which is even more interesting is that these two sides, 3 and 6, are also governed by number 9, which is the number of completion, which is the number that governs everything. As you can see in the same diagram, 1 plus 8 equals to 9, and then 7 plus 2 equals to 9, and these are numbers from both 3 and 6 side. Then 5 plus 4 at the bottom equals to 9, and then finally the other governing numbers, 3 plus 6, also equals to 9. So 9 is kind of like the big boss. It's the governing number, it's the president. After all, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals to 9. Marco Rodin states, as I mentioned before, that 3, 6, and 9 represents the fourth dimension. Regardless if it represents the fourth dimension or something else that we still don't know yet, it's clear that this set of numbers have some mystery around it. So let's analyze it even deeper. Nikola has another famous quote that states, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." And here again, it's a set of 3. Does that mean that each of the number 3, 6, 9 corresponds to energy, frequency, and vibration accordingly? But this is the area where bridging science and esoteric knowledge can help us get some answers. Nikola Tesla, in another of his famous quotes, said, "The day science begins to study the non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. This is all very interesting, but how does this relate to sacred geometry? Where do we find 3, 6, and 9 in sacred geometry? The sacred geometry shapes that represent number 3 are the triangle, or the tetrahedron, because we have 3 edges on each side. Number 6, however, is represented by the hexagram, which has 2 tetrahedrons, one pointing upwards, one pointing downwards, that represents the male energy upwards, the female energy downwards, which is perfect balance and harmony. And you can see the hexagram inside of Metatron's cube. So that's number 6. Number 9 is also represented by this beautiful shape here. Now, let me remind you that in numerology, number 3 represents mastery and the beginning of creation, the beginning of something amazing and new. And number 6 represents love, balance, and harmony. Number 9 in numerology represents completion, the end of a cycle. To get to number 6, which is love, balance, and harmony, you have to first accomplish number 3, which is mastery. So first you have to become the master, and then you can reach love, balance, and harmony, which is necessary for existence. And after you master this balance and this harmony, you can close the cycle by reaching number 9. You become a master, you become a creator. That means that 3, 6, and 9 are divine numbers. They are high dimensional numbers. Maybe if we can start using them more, maybe if we meditate on them. Maybe Tesla, after all, did everything in sets of 3 because he knew the secret of these numbers. Maybe following the pattern of 3, 6, and 9 will always lead to something greater in our life. This 3, 6, and 9 is what represents the shift to the 4th dimension, or to the spiritual dimension, things that we can't see, things that exist with us, but we can only feel, or only people with abilities, people with gifts can see, like the ghosts, like spirits, like jinns, like fairies, dragons, name it, all of these ancient gods. What if they exist on this spiritual realm? What if the 369 is the door to this realm? So you can see there's a connection between these numbers. 3, 6, the hexagram, and 9 governs all of them. 9 is, even in numerology, number 9 represents the end of the cycle. It represents mastery. It represents the ultimate truth. People with life path numbers of number 9, they know it all. They're born with the gifts that they know everything. They don't need to train, they don't need to study. For example, if it's an artist, they would know how to draw perfectly since a young age. If they're a singer, they would know how to sing without training since a young age. So in numerology even confirms this, that number 9 is the master of all numbers. So 3, 6, 9, I think the more we use these numbers, the more we study them, the more we meditate on them, we can get access to the spirit realm. We can get access to the unknown. Freemasons are known to use a lot of symbology, and one of their main symbols or numerological symbols is the number 33. Number 33, if you add it together, equals to 6. So we already have 3, we have 6, and what's 9? 9 is just 6 flipped. 9 is the opposite of 6. So 6 is 9, and 9 is 6. So even these secret societies that clearly control a lot of things in the world know the secret of 3, 6, and 9. They know it, and they use it. In numerology, number 33 also represents the number of mastery. It is said that if your life path number is number 33, that means that you are a master. That means that you closed your karmic cycle. That means you don't have any karma. That means you can be already a master in this lifetime. So there's just, every time I connect the dots between these three numbers, 3, 6, 9, 33, 66, 99, if you just play with them, it's just a matter of digging a little bit deeper and doing more research and figuring out how we can use this set of numbers and the hexagram. Remember, because I think the hexagram is key here. Once we figure out how to use them properly, maybe in ritual format, we can have access and merge the physical reality with the spiritual dimension. And that can lead us to figuring out who we are.